right now I try one particular design on my Canva, so I want to show you whether this we can achieve it on our PixelLab as well. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. I set is my square size to be 1280. I mean the size of the flyer to be 1280 by 1280. Then after that, all the element I'm going to use is already set. So I'm heading back to my gallery right now. So come to my PixelLab where I have the backgrounds. So this is the background I'm going to use. So after that, lock your background. Then the next thing is to bring out the pattern. So I have this pattern download on my Pinterest. So set the pattern, the pattern as overlay. Then you are going to remove the color so that it will remain this. Now go to the color and apply white color. Then after that, we go to the opacity. Reduce the opacity so that it will just be showing as a kind of a tips. So after that, have it lock. When you lock it, then the next thing we're going to do after that is to go to our shape area. Then we look for one particular shape like this. Then after that, or we check whether there is any other one, because when we check the Canva, the one I use in Canva is already have that already made template. So I mean the shape. So I want to apply a stroke so that the mouth will not be too sharp. So after that, the trick I want to use, so I'm going to rotate it. Okay, so the stroke I apply, let me give it white color or the yellow color anyway, because I'm going to change the color to yellow at the end of the day. So after that has been set, I will now go to rotation, rotate it. So rotate it to something like this, not like that. So let's rotate it to 90. Then we look at it. It's too sharp anyway, so we're going to stretch it and look out. Yeah, so we can stretch it more so that the mouth will not be too sharp. Good. So we have this. So after this has been achieved, we make sure that we position it to the center and we have it locked. After that, we don't need to waste time. We just head into where we have our cafe. Then we are going to position the cafe here. You can see the cafe. We will not allow it to be too big, but we'll position it here. Then after that, not to waste much of our time, we can go directly to shadow, because we apply shadow there. Only difference between the shadow here and shadow on the Canva is shadow in Canva is already made template, which you just apply and you adjust the direction as exactly as this. The same thing applicable to this one. You can adjust the way you actually want it. So now I'm bringing my own Canva, my own shadow. So I want to adjust it, but there must be a shadow that will show. So I don't want it to, if I want it to just come to one side, exactly like Canva. So, and I want it to drop down, so it will just come like that. Then I can add it to make sure that it show. Then the radius will just be blur, and we'll make sure that the thing is applying as a shadow. That's the what I'm doing. Then after you are able to achieve that, you make sure that you lock it. So the next thing we're going to do, since everything is being centralized, so we're heading back to the text area. Then we have our classy. Then go to the font. I could not find the font here, but the font is already made inside the Canva. So I want to use a font called Holiday Font. I got it on Google. Just search for it. Then when you get it like this, we are going to change the color of this one to yellow. Then after changing the color, there must be a drop down shadow. We can pick from the one we did before. Then we adjust. Hope I'm not a little bit faster. So I'm trying to beat the time and see how fast I am using the Canva and how fast I am using the PixelLab. So and I believe we are getting it. So this one, I believe I've been giving a lot of training on this. We are familiar with it. So let's see. And that's why we spend more time on Canva compared to this. So we have our coffee. Have our coffee. Sorry. I forget the spelling of the cafe. So we have our cafe. So the font we are going to use is called Extra Bold. This font was Montezera Extra Bold. I download it on Google as well, but it's already part of Canva template if you are using the Canva Pro. So I'm going to just give a little slight um, shadow for this one, so I'm not bothered it unnecessarily. Then after that, I'm bringing this to the front as an overlay. Then after placing it, it will judge whether it's really cool along with it. So having this, I can increase this a little bit. Don't forget the hierarchy. So this can come down a bit. Then this cannot be, if I can spend within 10 minutes achieving this, so this will be in the front. Okay, perfect. So I can now adjust and bring it down. Okay, so we can adjust it. This can go up a bit, but not much, a bit. So we have our cafe. Then we can adjust this a bit, just to create a space for our write-up. Okay, this is interesting. Go to the shape, then your radius you can just cover out. All this one is already embedded inside the Canva, so we need to just adjust everything manually here. So I want to put our social media icon, which we need this particular shape to write order, so we need to just adjust. So after that, we check the mouth, is it really accurate? If it is not, we are going to heading back to where we select and we apply radius more. If it is not done too, we still need to adjust until we are able to get it. Okay, now it's perfect. We'll go to the color, then we'll pick the color of the top one, which is this. So we can increase this a little bit anyway, okay, to so that I can rhyme along with everything. So now after we're able to do that, we just go to the text area, but we don't need to, we just go to the text area where we have our back to our font area. So when we get to our font area, we pick the previous font we are using, which is Montezera. So after that, that will be placed around there. If we discover display space is not really accommodating it, we can still move it and adjust it very well. So now that we have this, we go here and we pick the same color as black anyway, which could be cool. So let it be pure black. Then we are going to centralize. Heading back to gallery, we have a call icon, which we are going to position here, but we are going to just adjust. We'll position it here. Okay, perfect. Now that particular tricks that Canva is having by merging two things at the same time and move it, so the PixelLab is having it. This is it. When you click on it, just tap here, then you can position it to the center. You can see that the previous one we did is not even positioned to the center. So now we can shift everything to the center. But if that one affecting it automatically, we can just mark it, then we adjust manually. Okay, but there should be a space in between. There should be a little space, but not too big. So when we are able to having that, then we can now automatically lock and adjust this to create space. So when you move this one to the top a bit, just adjust. Then don't forget to use your relative size. Now merge these three together, move it at once so that you have a little space at the bottom. Then after that, we are dealing with the text at the top now. So we click on the text, then we are going to adjust. So the text is actually cool, but one thing that we did there, which we didn't do, we didn't even apply that there. We have to apply it here. So I'm going to turn on my mask. There's one trick I discover now. Instead of this one disturbing the text, we can cut it out. Then we copy. After copy, we go back to our mask. Then we enable the out. The out will give us this one that we hide. So can you see the tricks? So we now reduce the size and position it around anywhere here, so that it will not be covering, it won't cover the text. So after that has been achieved, this is amazing. So after that has been achieved, then we can copy. That's why at time I prefer PixelLab, but the two applications are working together anyway, but I prefer PixelLab than CANVA, because PixelLab does a lot of amazing job. Well, when you see those that are familiar with CANVA too, they prefer CANVA than any other. But I just believe I normally play my way around the two, because I use CANVA to design, I use PixelLab to design as well. So can you see the tricks, see the magic? When you can play your way around it, it will be very, very cool to compare, and you know the tools that you can use best. So now we are done. Thanks for watching. I believe we'll learn something from here. God bless you. So have your work been saved as an ultra, save as PNG? Thanks for watching.